Hello, everybody. Nancy Matthews here, popping in on a Sunday afternoon. How are you doing today? I am in South Florida, and we're having an absolutely beautiful day. And let me tell you, it was a little challenging not to resist going out there, but I've been going out as much as I can. And today I get to introduce you to another dear friend of mine, an extraordinary woman on so many levels. And she has the ability to capture the essence of your soul in a number of ways. So welcome, Christina Stuart.
Hi, Nancy. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here, and I just love you. And it is a beautiful day. I'm in Central Florida, East Central Florida. It is equally as beautiful here, and I have spent most of the morning outside.
It's been beautiful, whether you're in the garden, in the backyard, just going for a walk. Let me know what you're doing on this beautiful Sunday. And today we're going to be talking with Christina. She's got a webinar coming up on Wednesday this week. And when I heard the place that this came from and the development of the work that she does, I just really wanted to bring her on so that we could talk a little bit about love. Now we're wrapping up, February, which is the month of love in many, many ways. Mm-hmm. And when we think about love, most of the time we think about loving other people, right? But that's not what this is about, right?
No, you know what? Part of that for me was I was questioning some things about my life, about myself. And, they say you gotta love yourself first before all the wealth comes or the relationship that you want, or right, everything falls into place. And I am confident in who I am, and I really do feel that I love what I do and who I'm doing it with and where I am in the world. But there were still some things that I was feeling like I was missing. And I started questioning, well, what does that really mean? What does it really mean to love yourself?
Right.
And I know I've changed and grown and evolved so much in the last couple of years that I was at that level to question that again. Like, how are you really loving yourself? And are you? And I actually really wasn't.
And let me pause for a second, because it can be a little sneaky. Like you talked about, I'm confident, I love what I do, I'm grateful for the life that I have. But then what I'm hearing is there was this little piece about loving yourself, which wasn't really at the level it could be. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I was exactly that. I wasn't feeling like I was loving myself in the way that I truly wanted to. I've built up my spiritual life. I've built up my, serving in the world and clients. And now I was ready for kind of this physical part of it. Is really where it started for me. Is a couple of years ago, I told the universe that I was gonna, I was committed to getting on more stages and speaking up and standing out for survivors of sexual trauma and sharing my story as a way of giving permission to others to share their stories, or even if they don't feel ready to share their stories, just to know that they're not alone in their story and their experiences. And then I immediately put on 40 pounds, which is 100 pounds over my ideal weight. Mm-hmm. And I used to look in the mirror or past reflection and be like, oh girl, you got it. And I realized last year that I wasn't doing that. And I was actually quite the opposite, saying really unkind, nasty things to myself when I would look in the mirror, when I'd get out of the shower, or I'd put on clothes that were, we spent most of the year in yoga pants and
I know. I forced
on real clothes.
No, it's funny because I forced myself at least once a week to put on jeans. and let me be totally transparent, because I too ballooned up. And it felt like it happened overnight, although I'm sure it wasn't. And I remember getting up and putting my jeans on. I'm like, okay, they still fit. And then looking in the mirror and going, ugh, like really being unhappy, you know, almost even disgusted at times.
Yeah.
That's not self-love.
Right. And I didn't even gain any last year. It wasn't even during 2020 that I gained the weight. It was prior to that. And I was working out with a personal trainer all year last year, still am. And I was like up and down 10 pounds. And I literally cried on the floor in her gym at the beginning of 2020. Like, how did I get here? How did I get here again? Because I'd been at that weight many years before, but it was when I was in a really unhealthy, unhappy relationship. And I didn't feel like I was unhappy or unhealthy anymore. I was really loving what I was doing in my life. So how did I get here again? And so last year really was a lot of contemplation and reflection and learning and growing. And I finally got to the point where I was like, okay, now I'm ready for this physical stuff. You know, what is really loving myself mean? What is that? How do I do that? What does that mean?
Yeah.
And I had a dream that told me, basically.
I love it. I love it. Isn't, you know, all the answers really are available to us. And I think lots of people, myself included, went through such an amazing gift and opportunity for self-reflection last year, for really contemplating, getting a little more quiet. And that's where those answers can come to you. And yours came from within in a dream. So tell us about the dream.
Yeah. So I went to sleep and I had this beautiful dream that I was in this condo in Italy overlooking, I was in like the dining room kind of overlooking out the window. I could see that it was not a Florida coast.
Yeah. I'm thinking an eat, pray, love kind of moment.
A little bit. So my future self came to me in the dream and she said, tell me about your love letter sessions. And I responded, it's not about the client falling in love with you. It's about you falling in love with yourself. Now, you know, one of my ways of capturing the essence of your soul is through photography. So I woke up in photography brain mode and thought, oh, love letter sessions, Valentine's Day is in a couple months. That could be kind of fun to do with couples, you know? And I immediately went to photography, but it went and kind of played around in my head for a couple of days, like, there's still something about this. So I went into meditation to ask for clarity, and I discovered that it had nothing to do with photography, that I really was meant to write myself a love letter every day for 30 days. So I listened. I trust that divine inspiration.
Yeah, that guidance.
Yeah. And I also learned that it would be something that I would share with my clients. I would do at retreats. I would share with the world. It's going to be really big, and I didn't really understand the why or how or what the truly the results would be. I just trusted, okay, cool. You tell me I'm going to share it with the world. Awesome. I got to experience it first. So I did for 30 days. I wrote myself a love letter every day. I filled up this little journal. I had a very specific journal that I used just for that. Now you have a journaling routine as well as I do.
Yeah.
Those were totally separate journals. This needed its own sacred space. So for 30 days, I wrote myself a love letter, and some of them were really hard and some of them were really great. And about 10 days in, I realized that, like, wow, I'm actually teaching myself how to love myself. Like, it was the coolest thing ever.
Awesome.
30 days in, like day 31 or day 32, I was asked to write about it in the magazine that I shoot for, Everything Boulevard magazine here up in Melbourne area. And then the day after that, I was asked to teach it in another group that I'm in. And so here comes, that meditation that said, it's going to be something you share. It's going to be a tool that you're going to be sharing with the world. And here I am 32 days in, and I get two big opportunities to share it with the world. So evidence, check mark. From the teaching point of the time I taught it, I was asked, like, well, what are you going to, I got to be a part of this. What are you doing now?
Right.
So I created this 30-day experience as a way of supporting people who are ready to do this work, because it's not easy, and it's not easy.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. So kudos for following the guidance, and we often get these taps, but then do we take some action steps, some inspired action steps towards it? Not always, because we're like, I don't know how to do this. What does that mean? And like you said, you actually went to your default. Oh, must be about photography.
Right.
I was like, no. Tell us a little bit about what some of the, results or transformation, either that you've experienced or with some of the clients that you've already been working with. Like, why do this?
It feels good. That's the first number one. It feels fabulous, even with the challenging times or the walls that we may hit or the emotional, things we're pressed up against and faced when we go through this. The result for me was I released 10 pounds. I wasn't even trying anything extra. It just was, I was feeling better. I made better choices. I also, I was dancing in the mirror again. I was doing the, right? Even with not even knowing that I had released the 10 pounds, I just felt better. Like, all right, there's an extra roll and a little bit of cellulite there. That's cool. It's going. That was for me personally. And I just felt better. More clients were coming to me. I was getting more money because, again, I'm feeling better. I'm presenting myself in a more loving, happy, healthy way.
Yeah.
That just magnetizes people to you. Everything.
So, and what I think about here is so many of us, myself included, I'm doing my gratitude journal. I'm focusing on prosperity and abundance. I'm doing all the work, right? Yeah. I'm getting aligned, but you're not really aligned if that place of, love is operating as much as possible. And if there's this element of self-love, if you're not approving of yourself, if you're finding yourself a failure, whether it's at your diet, at your work, I said I was going to do those Facebook lives, but then I didn't. And okay, well, why didn't I? Because I don't want people to see me on Facebook, right? It's all connected.
Yeah.
So if we can learn to love ourselves more completely, release some of that baggage, it just clears the way for all that goodness to come from you. I think about it like this. And, I talk a lot about vibration and, above the line is how I like to refer to it, right? All those good vibes. If we are a vessel, let's just say, and we have, here's a cup and I'm a cup of water. And I want it filled with all the good stuff, but my cup is, a half or a quarter of a way still got sludge in it. Then I can't have all the good stuff that I could have the capacity to experience. Right?
Absolutely. And it muddies the water, right? If that visual was really beautiful. Thank you. That sludge in the bottom, even when you put beautiful, fresh, clean, crisp, cool water in, it mixes with the sludge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it creates that murky water. So even with a little bit of clarity, putting it into a cup with mud in, it's going to muddy it up.
Yeah.
So so that was results for me. I did kind of a beta course, really just it's been happening so fast. And that's how right?
Well, I know, because I think it was just a few weeks ago that we talked about your beta course and all the great things happening when we were in our momentum coaching, right?
Well, it's been more than that because it was 30 days. It's done already.
Okay. Time flies.
I know. And they loved it so much, they wanted to continue on past the 30 days.
Beautiful.
So, yeah. So one of the people it's a transformational experience. It's not a class, as you helped me to clarify, because it really isn't.
Yeah.
And it is transformational. One woman, she has been working at a job for years, loves her job, loves the people she works with, and felt that she was deserving to be paid more than she was being paid. She was given more and more tasks, especially through COVID. And through this, same for her, about 10 days in, she felt so confident in herself and really built herself back up.
Worthy. We're talking about that worthiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not just, you know, and she went to the point of like, yeah, I do deserve this raise. And then she went and asked for it, and they said yes. So,
yeah, and again, I think that comes to they could see her alignment, and so of course, right?
yeah,
If we ask for something, oh, can I maybe have, you know,
right.
right? It's there's a difference in the energy that you present with. Oh, I
Yeah,
love this.
yeah.
All right, I know you're doing a class or a webinar this week to invite people in to really learn more about what this is. So tell everybody about this great experience you have coming up for them.
Yes, yay! It's you get me. It's Wednesday at noon Eastern time. About an hour, and I teach how to do this, and it's, you know, it sounds easy, and having that support. I actually give them an experience during the class or during the webinar of doing it, actually starting to write themselves a letter. And everybody, even people who've done similar work like mirror work or have, you know, similar things, in, you know, giving them that time to do it right then, as the mastermind is doing so much from you. You're actually doing some of it that day.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they are, every person is just like blown away by what they experience in just such a short, in 5 minutes. And that's so, to then do it for 30 days, like it just amplifies every wonderful, amazing thing in your life. So we'll be teaching how to do this. And just, you know, if we can love ourselves a little bit more, just a little bit, no matter where we are on that self-love scale, as far as like bottom of the barrel, can't even see my way out, or top of the mountain, there's always room for more love. And imagine what that ripple effect is going to do to everyone around you, all of your clients, your spouse, your kids, your employees, your employers, your coworkers. You know, it's just going to go on and on and on, that huge ripple effect. And after the year we are continuing to have,
Oh, yeah.
we need that, right? We need more love for ourselves, and giving ourselves a little bit of grace. You know, everybody had a crazy year, whether it was loss, as far as, you know, physically somebody passing away, getting sick ourselves, our business is changing. We've just more love. So Wednesday at noon to 1 Eastern time. And the link is, thank you for putting it on the bottom.
You're welcome. My pleasure. So, Christina, thanks for this little Sunday afternoon chat. I'm already feeling more love for myself. Yay. And I'm excited about this experience you've created so that there can be even more of that. So thank you for making time this afternoon. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And everybody
else. I will. And thanks everybody for tuning in. Go ahead and register for this class on Wednesday with Christina. It can only serve to bring more yumminess, more love, and more of everything good into your life. So do it. I'll see you there. All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.